And then I went through after I was 19, I went through another bulk. This is the last bulk I've ever been through.
Oh, no. Okay, and then he says, I went on another bulk. Coach Reagan, today a full-on natty or not on none other than Alex Eubank. He recently released a video. It says, my 6-year transformation from age 16 to 22. And in the past, I've stated, I don't think this guy is natural. And so we're going to see, based on this video, does Alex present a good, sound argument that his achievements were done 100% natural?
So I've been training around 6 years now, naturally. Again, if you don't believe that I'm natural, I generally do not care.
Okay, and so he says he doesn't care he's natural or not, and really, that is the best attitude. If somebody thinks you're not natural, take it as a compliment. But his argument seems to be that he has amazing genetics. He was a unit at age 17. And so those, of course, are good arguments. And so let's find out, is the guy, in fact, natural?
All right, so I don't really have any pictures of when I was under 16. I believe this was in middle school, probably around like 12 to 14 years old. I have no idea the exact age. This is before even touching a weight.
And so a point in Alex's favor, he does seem to have above average genetics, seems to have a lot of muscle even at the age of 12 to 14, long before he even touched a weight. And so for me, this is an above average physique, which makes it more likely that he could have achieved his physique natural.
This was just body weight exercises. I did not touch a weight at all. I used to run a mile before each and every workout, so that was crazy.
And so first things first, running a mile before every workout, that's not crazy. That's called a warm-up. A mile for most people, unless you're in horrible shape, that's going to take 10 minutes or less. I used to run a mile in 5 minutes, and so a slow jog for me probably be 7 or 8 minutes. And so to me, that's just a warm-up. And so jogging 10 minutes before lifting weights, it's not going to be a major hindrance to your gains. Now, if you start running 5 kilometers every day, then of course it's going to make it harder to build muscle. But look at this guy's physique. At 16 years of age, this is remarkable. Check out the abs. What an amazing six-pack. He clearly has a lot of muscle, and it's only his first year of training at 16 years of age.
I was a really fast kid. I was just shredded, no body fat, but I was small. I think I was around 135 pounds or 125 when I was a freshman in high school, so pretty light.
And so he was only 135 pounds at 16 as a freshman, looked incredible. And so how much muscle did he put on? He clearly has a great starting point and amazing genetics.
And then I started going to the gym, like actually hitting the weights. I started force feeding. I started doing a bunch of protein shakes, and I started kind of dirty bulking.
Okay, and so he started lifting weights at the age of 16, but he gained the most of his muscle at 17. Now, we all know the law of diminished returns, and when you're a newbie, you experience newbie gains. The first year of training, you're going to experience the most gains, and it's going to gradually go down after that. He was approximately 135 pounds when he started training at the age of 16, trained for a year, and he got up to 145. And so that is not bad. 10 pounds quality muscle in 1 year training. Great job.
17 to 18 was when I got like stupid big. I went from, again, like I think I was 145 when I started the bulk, and I got to 190 at the end of my high school when I just turned 18.
Okay, so he's 16 years of age. In his first year of training, he puts on 10 pounds of muscle, goes from 135 to 145. And then the next year, from 17 to 18, he puts on 45 pounds, where he gained the majority of his muscle. And so I'm trying to wrap my head around, how is it possible that he gained 10 pounds of muscle his first year, which is great, and then 45 pounds the year after. Now, he does say he's force feeding, adding in extra protein and eating more, but I don't see a significant increase in body fat. For the most part, that was mostly muscle. Some fat, water, sure, but a heck of a lot more muscle was gained from age 17 to 18 than from 16 to 17. And if you're 100% natural, you used to see the greatest gains in year 1, year 2 a little bit less, and so on. The older you get, the slower the gains you're going to make. But in his case, gained a decent amount of muscle, then a shitload after that. And so my personal opinion at this point, probably took some PDs. Perhaps SARMs, I don't know. And so how is it possible that during year 2, he was able to gain 3 times more muscle than year 1?
But it's his amazing genetics, Coach Greg. He has superior genetics, and that's how he did it.
And so, okay, let's go with that. The guy has an amazing genetics. Gaining 45 pounds of muscle, 1 or 2 years. All right, anyone that can gain close to 45 pounds of muscle in a couple of years, expect that they will continue to build a decent amount of muscle after that. And so if you're putting on 45 pounds and you're a unit by the age of 17, 18, then you're going to continue to improve after that. Imagine how you would look at age 22. Probably have 20, 30, 40 pounds more muscle. When you're in your first few years of training, it's easy to put on muscle. You're not going to suddenly see muscle go up and then go down. If you do, that's probably when you went on the PDs. For example, you take SARMs, gain a ton of muscle, and then if you stop, go off the PDs, you then lose some muscle. And so let's see, did he continue to gain muscle or did he in fact lose some? Stay tuned, let's find out right now.
I was still pretty lean, but I was obviously bulking a little bit. I started filling out my muscle. I was gaining muscle pretty quick.
And for me, the amount of muscle he put on here looks like somebody that was taking something. I can't be sure, but it does look like he's taking something. After all, if he had the kind of genetics to put on muscle this quickly, it would remind me of a guy named Quint Beast Mode. Quinton. He had amazing genetics and he was a lifetime natural when he was his age. He only later took PDs after he turned pro. That's right, after. And so if Alex has the kind of genetics that Quinton does, we should see him continue to build muscle the way Quinton does. And so let's compare the two. Did Alex continue to put on muscle? He has amazing genetics for putting on muscle. He looks like a unit age 17 to 18. And so imagine how much bigger he got after that.
My arms are honestly probably the same size now as they were back then. My arms have always been pretty shitty genetically.
Hold on, time out. If you have amazing genetics to put on muscle, and you went from 145 to 190 in 1 or 2 years, are you suddenly going to stop and have the same size arms at 18, 19 as you do at 22? How would that be possible unless you stop training? And if you recognize your arms are weakness, are you not going to train them and make sure that you improve them? And so if you don't make improvements by the time you're 18 or 19 to age 22, how is that possible? Think of it. Do you think that Alex reached his natural genetic potential in 3 years of training? Been training 6 years. Is it possible that he grew his arms as big as they possibly get by the age of 19? And that with 3 additional years, he couldn't get them any bigger? Absolutely not. Most people can gain muscle for 10 plus years. And so he should not even be close to his genetic potential at the age of 19. I started training at 10. If you compare my growth throughout the years, I continue to get bigger, 18, 19, 20, 21, and so on. It was only later after doing 42 competitions, natural, that I took PDs, and then you could see amazing gains after that. In Alex's situation, he put on some decent amount of muscle in year 1, 10 pounds or so, and then the following year or 2 put on 45 pounds, a little bit fat and water, yes, but certainly a lot more muscle in year 2 than in year 1, which doesn't make sense when you consider that newbie gains, well, they're easy to make when you're new to the gym, as in year 1.
I started getting pretty aki. This is when I really started pushing the calories. I was bringing 2 protein bars to school, and throughout the day I was having double lunches. I literally did not care about grades. All I did was go to the gym and play video games.
And so despite the fact that he's pushing the calories and eating a lot, the guy has a clear and defined six-pack, and so he's not really in a massive surplus. What he's got is he's gaining a ton of muscle. I personally think not 100% natural. Think it's from SARMs or something. And he even shows his report card, which the teachers are saying, hey, this guy doesn't study enough. He only cares about the gym. Clearly, he's not focused on school.
And this is when I started hitting around 185 pounds to my heaviest, which was, I believe, 190 was the heaviest I weighed. And that was in the last few months of high school, right before I turned 18.
And so consider that. He was 185 to 190 pounds. Guy clearly, and has a clearly defined six-pack. It's been 3 years from this, and he weighs less now than he did then. If he was 100% natural throughout, would he not continue to increase in size? Does it not make more sense that perhaps the guy took something back then, cycled off, and that explains this size increase?
Graduation day, high school, I threw up and I developed a fear of getting sick, and it basically made me scared of eating food, so I lost around 15 to 20 pounds over that summer.
And so what is more likely, that he developed an irrational fear of eating because he was scared to get sick? Because let's face it, if he never ate anything, would he not have developed anorexia and lost all his muscle fat and withered away? Or that he was on PDs to help him gain 45 pounds of muscle in a year or two, and then when he stopped those PDs, he lost some of it. Which seems like the more plausible explanation to you?
And I was able to kind of rebound pretty good. I definitely could see that I had muscle memory, and I was able to, once I started going back to the gym consistently, the size and the definition came back pretty quick.
And so this rebounding, going back and forth and muscle memory and all that, that is very likely the cause of going off and on cycles, taking PDs for a while and stopping them. When you go to the gym and put on muscle, even if you stop training, you're very likely to keep that muscle. It's not suddenly going to melt off of you. But later on, when you've been training, especially if you're cycling on and off PDs, what you'll notice is a physique getting huge while on and small while off.
I didn't know what I wanted to do in college. So I was going through a lot of shit. So my anxiety and depression was really bad, but I still was like training. Like the gym was like my getaway. So I was still getting a good physique.
And so he went to college, didn't know what to do, had some struggles mentally and got through them and continued to train. And he has an amazing physique here. And in these photos, I do think he's natural. Right here, when I see these photos as he's doing the handstands, I think that is a natural physique. And so perhaps he was natural at age 16, then at age 17 took SARMs, perhaps Austrian, who knows, took that for a while, gained 45 pounds, got to his peak weight of 190, and then stopped those SARMs, lost 20 pounds, back down to 170, and here he is once again training natural, doing calisthenics, looking amazing.
This was when I was 19 years old. I was pretty lean, not the leanest I've been. I think I was at 175 pounds in these pictures you're seeing right now.
And so he's now 19 years of age, down 15 pounds from his former high of 190. He's 175 pounds. And I do think right here, the guy's natural. I think at 19, he looks like this. He's natural.
Again, pretty solid physique. I don't feel like I gained much at all since then on my upper body. My upper body stayed relatively the same.
And so he quite literally saying, and I don't feel like I've gained that much. And think of it, he's 19. Would he not continue to grow from the age 18? Quinton Beast Mode, when he was 18, 19, 20, continued to get bigger year after year because he has amazing genetics. I said the world's best genetics. The guy looks incredible. He's no longer natural now, admittedly so, but the guy has amazing genetics.
And then I went through after I was 19, I went through another bulk. This is the last bulk I've ever been through.
Oh, no. Okay, and then he says, I went on another bulk. To me, that is code for I went on another SARM cycle. That is what I see. I'm sorry, I'm telling you what I think. I could be wrong. I'm just giving you my honest opinion of what I think. I think he has an amazing natural physique at age 19, 175 pounds. That before that, he took something to get to that, lost some of his gains when he went off, and then wanted them again. He had a lot of pressure to look a certain way on social media, and so he's done a lot of things. I want to look this way. I want to impress people. A lot of pressure. He suffered from anxiety, mental health, and so does it not seem likely that he could have went to the dark side again a little bit, perhaps took some SARMs to impress the people? If he was 100% natural through the course of the 6 years, I would expect the largest amount of muscle through year one and a gradual decline in muscle each and every year after that. But what I'm seeing is decent muscle growth, crazy muscle growth, muscle loss, crazy muscle growth. And so why is that? Well, that is picture perfect descriptions of what happens when you cycle on and off PDs. And as I'm watching him train his serratus anterior, doing those dumbbell pullovers, to me, that doesn't look like a natural back. It looks like the back of somebody that's currently on performance enhancers.
And you'll see in these things, like I get lean pretty quick. You'll see in each video I start to get leaner and leaner, and my muscles start to pop more and more, especially my upper body.
He's getting leaner and leaner, and his muscles are starting to pop more and more. And what I'm seeing in this picture is he's losing fat and building muscle at the same time. Very hard to do. Unless you're a newbie or you're on PDs coming back from injury, losing this amount of muscle and building a ton of muscle at the same time while looking more 3D and getting bigger as you cut, it's not a sign of somebody that's natural. When you're 100% natural and you diet down, in general, you look small when you get cut. You realize, wow, a lot of my mass that I had was actually fat. And most people have twice as much fat as they think they have in order to get shredded. You're 190 thinking, wow, if I lost 20 pounds, 160, I'd be peeled. Meanwhile, come to find out you had to diet down all the way to 140 to look shredded. But not Alex. He's literally on a diet and looks bigger while getting more shredded at the same time.
And then I got down, I think I went from 185 to 170 pounds.
And so I gotta say that this physique in this pose, I don't think it's natural. Maybe it is, I don't know. I'm literally guessing. You understand this is a guess. I'm not his doctor. I don't know what's going on. But I do know that in the past he talked about having crushed testosterone levels. He had normal testosterone levels in the 400s and 500s, and then it got cut down. And so perhaps that was from dieting, but how would you explain getting bigger muscles while losing fat? To do that, you're building muscle while in a calorie deficit of which he'd been on for a year and a half. That is a long time to cut to look amazing for social media. And it would be a lot easier to maintain single-digit body fat if you're taking PDs, SARMs, whatever, to help you in that process.
And this is when the social media stuff started popping off. I started getting reposted on different accounts. The TikTok was doing good. And I got my first sponsor. So around here.
And imagine, and at this point, he's now gotten a sponsor. And so is there perhaps pressure to say, I did it natural? The sponsor maybe doesn't want him. The sponsors perhaps don't want him to say, I got this physique, I was taking PDs. And so perhaps he felt pressure to take SARMs in the past, and he can't come clean at this point and say, hey, I took this at this age and I took this at that age. A lot of people, they go through their entire careers, never say what they're taking. For example, Mike Ahern, 100% natural, lifetime Natty. Clearly, right? I mean, everyone knows Mike Ahern's natural. He's not going to say anything. And so is Alex Eubank going to come out and say, well, you know, Coach Greg made this video, and age 17, I actually was on Off-Street. Highly doubt it. I'm just presenting my argument, he's presenting his, and you can come to your own conclusion. And remember he said earlier, I don't care what you think, this is just facts. And so if he's 100% natural, he needs to take this as a compliment. And I'm not saying this to take away his hard work. Clearly, no matter what you take, you still have to put in the work. And regardless if you're on PDs, it's a lot of work. You have to train harder than last time, both in the gym and in the kitchen, and have to be willing to suffer.
And then more recently, we've added more fat. We've gained a little bit more weight. I went up to 180 at my heaviest since these videos you guys have seen.
And so here he is posing with Bradley Martin, who's 6'5" and over 250 pounds, and he doesn't look small. And more recently, he stated he's going to be entering a bodybuilding competition. And so this is my overall opinion, my overall assessment. If I had to guess, I would say that he cycled on and off PDs, probably SARMs in the past, but that now that he's 22, he no longer wants to use that. He's already got the size that he needs. He already looks great. He's maintaining a very lean physique. And so no more. Why take SARMs? He cares about his health. He has great information on his channel. I've watched a number of his videos. He knows what he's talking about. He shares scientific information and can help many people on their journey to getting an incredible looking physique. I don't think he's on SARMs. I don't think he's taking any PDs. He got his testosterone levels checked and they were in the toilet. And I do believe that they are going to return to normal so long as he's not on PDs. Perhaps he could take something like 3-test or G-test or ashwagandha, Tongkat Ali, Fedosia agressus. Some of these are backed by science. Even Jeff Nippard's taking ashwagandha. Andrew Huberman stated on Joe Rogan that this can in fact boost your testosterone levels by 1 to 200 points. And so Alex is dieting for his first competition when with that comes lower calorie levels, decreases in body fat, which likely going to cause a lower testosterone level. And so why not supplement with something to help boost your natural production of testosterone? Then after the show is done, go back on a lean bulk, increase body fat levels, eat in a surplus, get to a healthy body fat percentage, whatever it is for him, perhaps it's 10 to 15%, and then maintain from there. Gain some muscle slowly, year after year, probably gain 3 to 5 pounds of muscle, and then compete later on if he so chooses to.
Again, this whole entire transformation was achieved naturally. Now, not everybody can achieve this physique because based on my genetics, I have really good genetics, I have really good muscle insertions that make me look bigger.
And so Alex still to this day claims 100% natural, and perhaps he's right. I don't know. It's my personal guess based on what he presented in the video. He says, if I ever do take PDs, I will tell you. And personally, I think he's being honest. I think if he does join the dark side and go on test, trend, all that kind of stuff, he will tell us. And I do believe he has to because we will clearly notice now that he's extremely popular, world famous. And so if he suddenly puts on a ton of muscle, now that he's 22, it will be a clear and dead giveaway that he's not 100% natural. And so let me know in the comment section. There's no right or wrong answer. We don't know for sure. It's just a guess. What do you think? What do you guess? Do you guess he's natural? Enhanced? Does it make sense where I said perhaps he's on PDs, got all that size, lost it after the summer, and then went on it again, got that incredible physique, and that now he's natural? What do you think? Ending it here. Looking for harder than last time supplements? Use code GREG. Everything on all my sites, 10% off. Use code GREG, G-R-E-G. Enter that at the discount. You can get cookbooks, training books, coaching plans by me and my team, all the supplements. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment for the algorithm, watch the bloops. Check me out, gregdoucette.com or htltsups.com. And until next time, I am out.